Yeah. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the final session of the KCNA Bootcamp by CNCG Gandhinagar. Hope you have learned a lot of things around KCNA, the Kubernetes fundamentals, observability, cloud native architecture, and many lot of things. So, we are concluding on the final session, and we have Harsh Manwar, who is a CNCF ambassador, Docker captain, and Google Cloud developer expert. So yeah, let's welcome him, and he will dive us in a lot of insightful session today. So yeah, welcome Harsh.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Hope you can hear me fine now.
Yeah,
Okay, right then. So, I think it would be good to start, right?
yeah, we can still hear.
Okay. So then, first of all, thank you so much to Neil and CNC of Gandhinagar for inviting me and giving this chance opportunity to speak over here and sharing the insights on the week 5, and we'll be talking about app deliveries. So if you don't have any idea, don't worry, we'll go from basic to medium level, and if you want, we can also go from intermediate to uh, advanced level also. So let's see, let me walk you through all the concepts about app delivery, and feel free to ask any questions into the chat if you have anything. I'm also fine with Hindi or Gujarati, so don't worry about anything, just drop a question into the chat and we'll discuss at the last once done with all the explanations and everything. I have also created few demos, so I will also showcase, so you it would be easy for you to understand what is the tool means, how the tool works. And if I'm speaking so fast, let me know, we'll slow down, and let me share my screen. Okay, I hope it's visible.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so as we know, today's topic is about app delivery. So we'll talk about how we generally do the deployment, how the delivery works into the environment, specifically with CNCF cloud native web, what all tools are there, how you can do that. Now, a little bit about me. My name is Harsh Manwar. Uh, I'm a CNCF ambassador, Docker captain, Google developer experts, and I also like, as personally, I like Yamaha RX 100. If you are into bikes and cars, then you. And then we have the observability, which is 8%, and today's is app delivery, so it also another 8%. So everything together, it comes to 100%. This all, I think you guys might have discussed every 1 week. So today is week 5, and this is how today's agenda looks like. We'll talk about mostly CI/CD and GitOps. I will also focus the demo, and I have also GitHub available. So if you want to try it by your own self, feel free to go over there and try copy the uh, uh, feel free to try and copy the files and everything from that git. I hope there is no issue anyone is facing. uh, Few have reported, so sounds good. Okay, now let's application delivery fundamentals, what basically it means. um, in previous sessions, if you understand what Kubernetes means, more about YAML file configurations you are writing, and you are delivering your containers and everything to Kubernetes. Now, as a fundamental, when we talk about delivery things, there is also the templating comes with to that. If you are started working with Kubernetes, the templating will come for the YAML. So it's all about YAMLs, and YAML also showcase what Helms means, how the Helm tool work. Then we'll talk about CI/CD, then infrastructure as a code also. So I will also showcase one demo for infrastructure as a code. Now, it is not always about application delivery. When we say a delivery, it means we are also applying our code, or we are also delivering our code that might be creating the servers also. So uh, it it not specific to the application delivery. Over here we will be talking about two things: infrastructure delivery also, and application delivery also. Now, if you want to apply the infrastructure, create the infrastructure, then you might have to go ahead with ISE, so which stands for infrastructure as a code. We'll talk about that in coming slides, how the ISE works, how you can use it, how the code goes, and everything. In few lines, you can manage everything. I have also code ready for that, so don't worry. We'll give you the demo, and you will get the idea what it means. If you don't know anything about ISE, you have never heard about it, no issues at all. Now, first, let's talk about CI/CD. And I'm not sure if you are coming from student background or you are working professional, but we'll uh, move ahead with basic things only. So when we say the CI/CD, the CI basically stands for continuous integration. And as you can see, what continuous integration means into these slides, uh, you are committing your code into the GitHub repository, and over GitHub repository or source code repository, whatever you call it, whether it's a GitHub, GitLab, for example, you might be using the Bitbucket. All of these tools are the Git only. Ultimately, it is storing your code. So, which means it is your source code repository. Over there, you have a CI servers there. So if you are doing the processing over there, then you can also call over there it is CI server, or you are setting some tools like Jenkins. So Jenkins is also one of the CI tools. It automatically fetch the latest code that you have committed into source code repository, and then it will do the build, test, and the result, and it will gives you the result back to the user. So this is the CI basically looks like. Whenever you are committing anything to your source code with a command like git push or something, it will auto trigger the things, and from there it is a automatic things whatever you have mentioned and defined into your CI/CD tools, and it will test it out automatically, and then it will gives you the result whether your build goes successful or there is some error or what. So it is how the CI looks like. Now, as the word says, CI and CD. So we discuss what CI means. When you are committing, it do the build, test, and gives you the result. That is the CI part. Now, what is CD basically means? CD basically stands for continuous delivery or continuous deployment. But before that, let me walk you through about this one. As I explained, you can see over here there is one developer. That developer is writing a code, whether it's HTML, Node.js, Golang, whatever you are uh, liking or working with. It is committing code to the Git repository, so you can see the Git over there, and then some tests are going over there on top of that code that it is not breaking, there is no error into the code. Or if you are working with Python, you might see there is a space issue, there is a tab issue which called linting, right? So you have some automatic test returns that there is no lint issue, there is no some mistake, syntax issue or something like that. So that one step of run test do the same thing. It is do the testing automatically and everything. Once testing is done of your code automatically, it will build that package or that application into the binary, into containers or whatever you are creating at the end, and then you will be shipping it. If you are working with Java, it might create a jar file once your all the tests are good. If there is any issue with testing, then it might give you the error that, hey, over here there is some issue with your code, update your code and commit it again. So you have to again update your code and do the git push, update your code into the github, GitLab or anywhere, and then it will again run the testing. So if everything goes well, you have your binary file, you have your jar file or whatever the specific language you are working with. uh, you have available, that you have build is available. So this is what the part of CI. Again, we are not reached till over here server. You can see there is still few gap is there. So we'll talk about the steps later. But all this, build tools you might have heard about. You have Maven, Gradle, npm, Peep, and all those according to the language you are using. Now, if you are using the containers, your continuous integration flow will look like this. The test cases would be the same thing. Moment you have committed your code, uh, it will do the testing, it will build the binary or package, and then it will create a container image. You can see over there with Docker image, container image, whatever you call it. Moment your image is created, it will push it to Artifactory. If you are using the Docker Hub, you have experience or not, but it will push it to anywhere, whether it's Artifactory or Docker Hub or other similar tools are there into the market. So this is how the flow looks like for a CI. Now we have our build, or we have our package available, our binary, our software, our app, whatever we call it. It is available. It is ready with a CI part. So we have done that automation. टेस्टिंग हो जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली, बिल्ड भी बन जाएगी, सब कुछ हो जाएगा. नाउ हमारे पास बिल्ड रेडी है. नाउ द नेक्स्ट पार्ट इज कॉल्ड deployment or a delivery, because once it is ready to deploy, we have to also write or configure how we will deploy it onto the server. So that is where the CD parts comes. First was CI, now it's a CD. CD basically stands for a continuous deployment or either continuous delivery. Now, I will explain about this continuous deployment and continuous delivery later, but let's understand what basically CD means. So, the above portion is the same. We do the check-in to source code repositories, then we have CI servers, whether it's a Jenkins or something. It is doing the build, it is doing the result is good. Our application builds successfully, our code don't have any error or no security issues, there is no vulnerabilities or anything. Then we can also move ahead with automations, and we will deploy it to the test environment or maybe development environment, or in another word you can say development server. So we will first deploy our application or website to the development server, and then we will also test it over there, like it is showing the good UIs and everything, and we will get the result. If it is working fine in development or testing, we will move it to the staging server. So over there also the staging basically means it is before the user, before it reaches to user, you are checking everything, testing everything on a staging server. So once it is tested on staging side, uh, we get the results and everything. Just a second. Yeah, sorry. So we were talking about the staging. Once it is tested over the staging, then it get auto deployed to the production. So it means it is a continuous deployment. As mentioned over here, you can notice it is automatically. So it won't ask for your permission. Once you have committed your code, everything will be automatic only. Your application will get directly deployed to the production, and it is available to users. Users can see the changes and all those things. Okay. Now, this is how the continuous deployment or delivery looks like. the basic concepts is we were able to create the container image, we push it to Artifactory. Once our that image is available, then we will deploy it to the server. So this is how the complete CI/CD flow looks like. You have a developer that is committing the code, then the test happens, the build happens, the container image building, and then it get auto deployed to server. This is what the continuous integration and continuous deployment. Now, it is not a very simple how I explained that the test cases are going and then your build is happened and it got deployed to the server directly. No. We have one step that is doing the testing over there. If you see, it is run testing, but you might want to scan the security side also. So you are integrating some step that is checking the security side of your code, doing the scans and all those stops. So you might have the different steps available into your CI/CD pipeline, and this is what very basic pipeline looks like. But more you go into the organizations and so, the it may get little advanced side on scanning the test cases and everything. So you might see a different types of steps over there as a part of CI/CD pipeline. I have also mentioned some extra steps over here. You can see if anything goes wrong, you may get email also as a part of your CI/CD pipeline. If it get break, then how you will get to know that there is some issue? So you may get Slack message or email or something like that, notification that there is some issue. You might want to like to push your images or artifact from CI/CD to bucket or something like that. So it could be the different step, I would say, as a part of your CI/CD pipeline. You may have also some plan available if something goes wrong. If something got failed middle way, then how you will handle it? You will do the recommit or you will do the retry or all those things as a part of that. So this is what the basic concepts looks like for CI/CD. Now, what is the difference between continuous deployment and continuous delivery? So basically, the CD stands for both. Is it a continuous delivery or is it a continuous deployment? So as I explained to you about continuous deployment, you can see the this pipeline of CI/CD that we are doing the code, then we are doing unit testing, then we are doing some integrations and all those, then we are doing the build, and then we have some story test and all those things. So till then, it is the same for both, whether it's a continuous delivery or continuous deployment. The pipeline looks the same. Only part is getting changed is the last part. So in continuous delivery, it will stop over there after story test, and any one person from your team have manually click over there or approve over there. Then and then it will get deployed to the production. So whatever changes you are seeing, sometimes Instagram or any website is updating, it might be that someone is manually approving it. If continuous delivery is there, then and then the deployment is happening to the new server, production server. In continuous deployment part, it won't be like that. If I have approved it, it will go through till the production. So no one has to do the manual approval or anything. It will get auto deployed to the production server and every user will start using it. So it not require any type of approval also. This is what the basic difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment. One require approval and another don't require any type of approval. It will go automatically. Now, I have also one demo for continuous deployment, how it auto deploy. So let me quickly focus to you. So for example, this is my okay. This is my GitHub. I think you can see the screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for confirmation. So you will get the all repositories and all the codes from here. So this is repository names like Golang, Docker, GKE, and Cloud Run. and this is what the repository is. Now I will focus one demo of continuous deployment, how it will get auto deploy without any type of approval. So you can see over here, I have created one CI/CD pipeline. That pipeline is connected to my repositories. That is a GitHub repository, and it is set over here. If you see the event, if I'm updating anything into my GitHub repository, it will build it and it will simply deploy it. As simple as that. There is no rocket science or nothing. It is just a few clicks. Even if you are a student, you will be able to do this. A small demo. Now I have code written over here in Node.js. So what this code is doing, let's see. This is the index.js. If you see, it is running one server and it is giving hello world, right? And the version is 1.0.1. Now, this is what my CI/CD pipeline configuration looks like. That is for a cloud run. So you can see I have given some commands that is building it. Then it is publishing it to the Artifactory, and then it is automatically running and deploying to the server. So in a three stage, it is doing that. I'm not doing any type of testing, no security scannings or nothing. For this demo, I have kept it very simple: build, publish, and deploy. Now, if we do some update over here, for example, this trigger is disabled, so I need to enable it first. The status is enabled. Now it is enabled, and let's quickly update version over here. For example, this index.js is running some 1.0. So suppose if we do it 0.2, we are updating the version over here, and I'm committing the code to main branch directly. I'm not doing any type of PR or something for this demo. I'm just simply updating the code. Now I have committed the code. You will see the history over here. One build is automatically started. So if you notice over here, the build is started. Now it is building my code, whatever I have written, whatever dependence there, what need to be created. So you can see the three steps over here. So first is build step, then push, and then run. And if you see over here, there is no server or anything running. So this is the cloud run where it will deploy and run our application. So there is no any type of instance, any type of container or any type of server is not there. But it will get auto deploys once our CI/CD get complete. So let's wait for 1 minute. Once CI/CD completes, we will be able to see the output of that. Okay, I think stage is complete. Yeah, you can see over here, one instance is there, one container auto started without any changes, like I don't have to do the manually. You can see it is ready, and you can see the build status over here, it might be completed. Yeah, see, it is successful. So my CI/CD pipeline is successful without any error. Automatically it built, automatically it pushed it, and it is also now deployed. Now if I goes over here to this one, and if I allow everyone to authenticate, and I'm just running this URL, you will see the code over here, that is 1.0.2 that we updated into our repository. All right, so this was the very basic demo of CI/CD, how the CI/CD works end to end automatically. And you might would like to create some configuration file. So there is always a CI/CD configuration file you might have to update it, and all the different stages are there. It changes accordingly to the tool. If you are using Jenkins, you might have to write the configuration file for Jenkins. If you are using the CI from Circle CI or something, you have to write the configuration file for Circle CI. So it changes according to the tool you are using. This is for cloud build. I have written it into the YAML. For Jenkins, it might be into some different language. So yeah, that is that. So this was the quick demo of that one. This is not required, so let me quickly delete this one. Okay, now let's move forward to the next part, that is okay. So the next is infrastructure as a code. So what basically infrastructure as a code means, you are writing the code for creating a server. What we basically written into our CI/CD code. That if I have written one code. If I apply it, you can see over here, you have the plan. And if I apply it, it will create a server anywhere into AWS, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, or anything. So basically, the way we create a website or application with HTML or Node.js or saying, accordingly, we can also manage a server also. We can also create a servers. And for that, you might would like to use tools like Terraform. So Terraform is one of the technology, or I would say a language that everyone use for coding, to write an infrastructure as a code. So what is the benefit of this ISC? If you have written a code one time, you can run it multiple times. So if I want to create a servers, I do it manually, then it might take 10 minutes for one server, right? I go to the Google Cloud or to UI, then I click it, multiple things, I configure everything and all those things. It may take 15, 20 or 30 minutes to create a three servers to me. There is might be issue of some configuration issue. Somewhere I have given 10 GB, in another server I given a 30 GB. So it is again a difference. If I want to keep it same, what I will do, I will write one code, that is a infra code with Terraform, and I will apply it three times. So it will create a three servers for me in just a 5 minutes. So that is the benefit of infrastructure as a code. You can quickly run it and create a multiple servers. Now, uh, due to some time limitations and everything, like it may time to apply and run the code, but I will show a quick code, how that code looks like. Uh, yeah, so let me check if it is there in my GitHub repository also. Mm, okay, so you can see this one repository that is called the Terraform Greylog, and this is what the looks like main.tf. If you see over here, this one code I have written for creating the server into Google Cloud, and basically the Terraform file are stored as a main.tf file. So the extension is .tf, and you can see a few resources and all the different configurations are there. How the networking will work, how the rules of firewalls and everything. So everything written into the code, and I can create a multiple servers of this by running this code multiple times. So you can all these different TF files. The variable file is having some variables, the version file having the versioning and all that. If you know the Terraform, it will be easy for you to understand this. This is also the open repository. If you would like to go through, feel free. You can also go through that one. So that was about quick understanding of ISC, how the infrastructure as a code looks like. So basically, the meaning of explaining all of these things is that we are delivering the both infrastructure also with our code, and we are also delivering our application, whatever code that we have written automatically with the CI/CD. You can also keep infrastructure as a code, ISC, Terraform as a part of your CI/CD also. If you go through this one, I have not added a CI/CD over here, but you can also implement the CI/CD same way. The code is there. You have to build it, you have to apply it, and your server will be ready. So this is what all about the delivery part, infrastructure and application. Now there is also one word being called, that is called the GitOps. Now, if you are going through this week and if you are going through the titles and everything, uh, what basically the GitOps means, as word says, Git and Ops. So it is all about Git and the operations. Now, uh, GitOps is also the kind of part of continuous delivery only, what we have seen. Um, so it applies, or it automatically do the sync of your files from Git. So if you are using the GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, or any of the Git tool, the GitOps says that it will, based on your configuration, it will auto sync, it will auto apply, it will fetch your files automatically and apply it to your server automatically. So it is the same thing, but everything, all your configuration files and everything should be stored into the Git only. So as mentioned over here, GitHub uses the Git as a single source of truth. So what mean of that single source of truth is that if I'm joining any team, or if someone is joining my team, then I have done some configuration onto the server. How you will get to know, how you will get the idea what I have done into my server? You manually have to go into my server and check into what I have done into my server, where I have kept my versioning file, variable files, and everything into my server. It will be really difficult for you to get an idea what is happening into my server. So instead of that, if I'm following the GitOps, I have kept all of my files inside the Git. So the way I showed it to you, whatever that my repository is there, all of my files are there. If you will go through that code, you will get idea what is happening. So that is what basically the GitOps or a single source of truth means. Everything, each and every variable, a small change, everything is stored over there into the Git. Anyone joining your team can go through those files and get idea what is happening. So this is the list of tools that you can use for a GitOps. The Tecton is there, Jenkins is there, Argo CD and Argo Flux is also there. Now I have also quick demo for Argo CD. Let me quickly jump to that and focus so you will get the idea. Then this is again, let's go to the Git and repository, the Golang and Docker, the one we were talking about, the one we were discussing and everything. Now you might would like to run your Argo CD somewhere. Now I am running my Argo CD locally on my Kubernetes clusters. You can also go through Argo CD tools how to run it locally on Kubernetes, and it is just a two-line command. You will run that command and all set to go. Now let me also quickly showcase what is there into my server. So this is what my Kubernetes looks like. You can see the different namespaces. Argo CD namespace is there, default namespace is there, demo namespace is there. If you see the Argo CD and if we list out the port, so this is what the Argo CD ports looks like. All the ports are running, everything is good. And If we see the demo one, it is running my demo application, whatever I created my demo application, and it is running. Now let's go to my GitHub repository and let me show it to application.yaml. So basically what this uh, Argo CD is doing, if we go over here to Argo CD and if we go to the settings, we have option to configure the repositories. So I have just click over here and give the URL of my repository कि भाई तेरे को इसका ध्यान रखना है, as simple as that, और कुछ नहीं है. So Argo CD को मैंने बोल दिया कि भाई इसका ध्यान रखना तुम. तो रिपोस्ट्रीज मैंने कॉन्फ़िगर कर दी. यू कैन सी क्लाउड रन यूआरएल भी डाल दिया और कनेक्ट भी हो गया सक्सेस. एंड वंस इट इज कनेक्टेड, मैंने उसको बोल दिया कि यू हैव टू मैनेज और मेंटेन दिस एप्लीकेशन. सो आई क्रिएटेड वन एप्लीकेशन एंड उसको बोला कि कहाँ पे कौन सी फाइल को ध्यान रखना है, मॉनिटर करना है. सो फॉर दिस डेमो मैंने उसको बोला कि you have to watch and check the application.yaml, this one file. So if you go and check this application.yaml file, you can see it is have the application, that is the kind, and then I have given the name, that is the test argo application. You can see the same name automatically आ गया, उसने वहां से fetch कर लिया. Whatever I have defined into that file, it got created over here. Then I have mentioned कि कौन सी namespace में it has to create. So they created it to the Argo CD namespace, then the repository URL. So कहाँ से code उठाना है. Now it is the configuration about all the demo application. So this is my repository and this is the path. मतलब मेरा code कहाँ पे पड़ा है, मेरी YAML files कहाँ पे और everything. So this is the care test folder. You can see that care test folder over here. So it is storing all the YAML files, configurations and everything, that is having the deployment, then it is having the services and everything. If you have created your custom Docker image, you can also mention it over here. I have mentioned the Nginx for this demo. So inside the application.yaml, I have also applied the destination. मतलब ये configuration कहाँ पे apply करना है, right? Once you have the Argo CD is running, you might need a server where you have to run this application. So I have mentioned inside the local Kubernetes cluster, you have to deploy this, and the namespace will be the demo. So the same namespace I showed it to you. The demo namespace, it is running the test application. And if it is not available, it should automatically create the namespace and all other different configurations are there. Now, suppose I have this demo pod is running over here and I have one service also. So this service is also the test service. What will happen if I delete this pod? Sorry.
Yeah, Harsh bhai, if you can little bit zoom in, then it will be.
Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you. Okay, now I think it will be visible, right?
Yeah, more better. Yeah,
Correct? All good.
yeah, perfect, perfect.
Right. So you can see the pod over here and you can see the test service also over here. Now, if I list the service once again, you can see the test service. Now, if I will delete this service, Kubernetes won't auto-create it. If you will delete the pod, it might get auto-create by deployment. If you have attended the previous lectures or previous week sessions about Kubernetes, pod get auto-created by the deployment. But if you will delete the service, it may not create it. So if I will delete the service over here, the test service, it will get deleted. Like it is deleted, correct? But if you notice over here, what happened? It got auto-created 4 seconds back. Who created that? It created by the Argo CD. So that is what the Argo CD works like. It is automatically continuously checking what is happening into my cluster. If anything goes wrong, it will auto-apply everything from my YAML configuration that what I have created. So let me quickly focus to you over here. Inside the test, you can see this deployment.yaml file is there, and there is this test service. But what if I create another service over here also? For example, something like this. Instead of test service, we will call it test demo service, and we are committing the changes to the main branch. Okay, and now we again go back to our Kubernetes cluster, and let's see if it got auto created or not. Probably it will take few seconds to auto sync, and we can also notice that into the Argo CD also. It is a sync is okay to 991. No, the latest one is 21D commit. So probably we can click once again auto sync. No, it is syncing. So let's wait for. Yeah, now it is. You can see the commit is 21D, which is the latest one, and if we see, it created a test demo service that we created into that one. So this is how the basically GitOps looks like. It continuously try to auto sync from the repository that we have created. If we will deploy these services, if we will deploy this deployment or something, it will automatically sync once again and create the deployment and services into your Kubernetes. And for that, as I listed the tools over here, all of those tools do the same job, whether it's Tecton, Jenkins, Argo CD, Flux, or anything. The concept would be the same. It will do and sync your YAML files to the Kubernetes clusters. This way, the simple way configuration would be the same. You have to give your GitHub repository, you give your YAML files, and those files will get applied to your clusters. This is how the concept works for a GitOps. So yeah, that's all mostly from my side. So thank you so much for hearing this and going through the demos. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. Feel free to write into the chat. Um, yeah, we'll answer and try to clear your doubts.
Yeah. If you have some question, do ask over here, and also you can connect with Harsh on LinkedIn or Twitter or anywhere. You can also ask to him directly.
Let me stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, it was very insightful session, and we had a good demo. Yeah, thanks to Harsh for doing preparing all the things for us.
So if anyone have no question, then probably I could consider I explained very well and everyone understand.
Yeah, yeah, you explained very well. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all for joining us today, and hope to see you in some of the CNCF Gandhinagar event offline. And yeah, we will share the resources to you to prepare for the KCNA certification. And in case if you have some query, you can also ask to me or ask to Harsh or anyone. We are happy to help you out. Thank you all for hoping us and joining us to on a weekend. And yeah, see you in some of the next event. Bye everyone.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks.